Christian friends, God might be testing you right now. Navigating trials with faith and finding strength in God's promises. James 1 verses 2-4, Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Hey everyone, Verve here. And you know what? I've been thinking lately about something that's so incredibly relevant to all of us, something that touches every single one of our lives, even if we don't always want to admit it, trials. James 1:2-4, that verse just jumped out at me this week, and I thought, this is it. This is what we need to talk about. Because let's be honest, life isn't always a walk in the park, is it? Sometimes it feels more like navigating a minefield blindfolded, especially when you're trying to live a life guided by faith. We often face challenges that seem insurmountable, situations that leave us feeling utterly lost and overwhelmed. But what if I told you that these very trials, these moments of intense difficulty, are actually opportunities for incredible growth? That's the radical, almost counterintuitive message of this passage, and honestly, it completely changed how I perceive my own struggles. Think about the classic hero's journey. You know, the one where the protagonist faces seemingly impossible odds, overcomes immense challenges, and emerges stronger and more capable than ever before? It's a story we've all seen 1,000 times, and there's a reason for that. It resonates deeply within us because it mirrors the human experience. Life, especially the Christian life, often follows a similar arc. We encounter seemingly insurmountable obstacles, moments where we feel absolutely broken, and think we've completely failed. Yet it's within these exact moments of struggle that God often chooses to work most profoundly in our lives. The word trials in the Greek is pyrasmos, which often speaks not just of testing but of refinement, like a goldsmith purifying gold in a fire. It's a process of elimination, removing impurities, allowing the true essence of our faith to shine through. Now, before you jump to conclusions, I'm not saying that God causes our suffering. That's a misunderstanding often associated with this passage. But what James is emphasizing is our response to suffering. The passage is not about the source of the trial, but the outcome of our response to it. Think about it. How many times have you faced a challenge, maybe a broken relationship, a financial setback, a health scare, and felt like your faith was being tested, even shaken to its core? That feeling of being pushed to the brink, where you question everything you believe in, that's exactly the point where God often works. It's during these moments of vulnerability and uncertainty that our faith is refined, our character strengthened, our dependence on God intensified. Let's look deeper at the language here. James says to consider it pure joy. Seriously? Joy? In the midst of trials? That's not exactly the first thing that comes to mind, right? But think about what joy actually means. It's not simply giddy happiness, it's a deep, abiding peace and confidence in God's sovereignty, even amidst the chaos. It's knowing, with absolute certainty, that God is working through your circumstances, even if you can't see it at the moment. It's trusting in His plan, even when it's shrouded in mystery and uncertainty. And that, my friends, is a profound joy that surpasses all understanding, a joy that only comes from complete surrender and trust in God's divine purpose for your life. This isn't about ignoring the pain or pretending everything's okay. It's about finding joy in the midst of the storm because of the unshakable knowledge that God is with you, and that nothing is outside of His control. This process of refinement, this testing of our faith, isn't about proving ourselves worthy to God, but about discovering the incredible strength and resilience that He has already placed within us. It's about growing closer to Him, deepening our intimacy with Him, and developing a level of faith that can withstand any storm. It's about realizing that the challenges we face are not random accidents, but opportunities for spiritual growth and transformation. It's through these trials that we discover the incredible depths of God's grace, mercy, and love. Remember the story of Job? He lost everything, his wealth, his health, his family, yet his faith remained steadfast. And through that unwavering faith, he experienced a restoration beyond his wildest dreams. His trial wasn't the end, it was the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter filled with profound blessings and a renewed relationship with God. So, when you're facing a trial, remember Job's story. Remember that God is with you, even in the darkest moments. Remember that perseverance produces maturity, a maturity that comes only through facing the fire of hardship and emerging on the other side refined and stronger. Think about the times when you've faced significant challenges. Maybe you've experienced heartbreak, maybe financial instability, or faced difficult health issues. It's important to remember that God has been there with you. It's in those moments that you might have questioned your faith, but it's also in these challenges that you have come to realize the extent of His love. God doesn't promise us an easy life, He promises to be with us during difficulties. And this is His promise: never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. Hebrews 13 verse 5. This promise is not just a comforting phrase, but a solid rock to cling to when you face uncertainty. Remember, your worthiness before God is not based on your ability to overcome challenges effortlessly, but on His unwavering love for you, a love that endures regardless of your circumstances. It is through the trials that we not only become stronger but also learn to trust completely in His plan. Now, let's talk about perseverance. James tells us to let perseverance finish its work, so that we may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. This is not a passive process, it requires active participation. It's about choosing faith over fear, hope over despair, and trust over doubt. It's about clinging to God's promises, even when our circumstances scream the opposite. It's about practicing spiritual disciplines such as prayer, Bible study, and fellowship. It's about reaching out to others for support during difficulties. It's about actively seeking God's wisdom and strength. Perseverance isn't simply enduring, it's actively engaging with the challenges, trusting that God will use them to shape you into the person He intends you to be. And this leads us to the beautiful promise: not lacking anything. Think about the implications of that statement. It speaks not just of material provision, but of a completeness of spirit, a deep inner peace that comes from knowing that God is in control, that He has a purpose for your life, and that He will never abandon you. This completeness isn't about achieving perfect happiness or avoiding all suffering, it's about finding a deep sense of contentment and fulfillment in Christ, regardless of your external circumstances. It's about understanding that even in your brokenness, you are whole in Him. So, what does this all mean for us in our everyday lives? How do we practically apply this biblical wisdom? First, recognize that trials are inevitable. They are part of the human experience, and they are often opportunities for spiritual growth. Second, cultivate a mindset of faith and trust. Believe that God is working even when you don't understand His plan. Third, actively engage in perseverance, choosing faith over fear, hope over despair, trust over doubt. Fourth, seek spiritual support from community, friends, family, and a pastor. Lean on the support system God has provided for you. Furthermore, remember to be patient with the process. Spiritual growth takes time. It's not a race to the finish line, but a journey of lifelong transformation. Remember, even in the midst of intense trials, God's love is constant, a powerful wellspring of hope, strength, and peace. He is with you every step of the way. It's not about avoiding trials, but learning to navigate them with faith. Embrace the difficulties, knowing they refine your faith and strengthen your character. The tests are not designed to break you, they are designed to reveal the amazing strength, resilience, and faith God has already placed within you. And remember this, the feeling of being overwhelmed is a very human thing, it's part of this journey. Don't ever feel ashamed or inadequate for feeling that way. God sees your tears, He understands your fears, He knows the burdens you carry. That's why He calls you to cast your cares upon Him, because He cares for you. 1 Peter 5 verse 7. He invites you to bring your anxieties to Him, knowing that He is always with you, even in the darkest hours of your life. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, it's not okay to stay there. Let your emotions guide you to seek Him out, to pour out your heart to Him and embrace the healing and comfort He offers. So, my friends, as we navigate the inevitable trials of life, let's choose to see them not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. Let's embrace the challenges, trusting in God's unwavering love and guidance. Let's cultivate a mindset of gratitude, recognizing that even in the midst of the storm, God is working all things for our good. Romans 8 verse 28. Let's find joy in the process, knowing that His love sustains us and guides our path. Let's choose to embrace the process of being refined, knowing that God is shaping us into His masterpiece. What is one specific trial you are currently facing, and how are you choosing to respond with faith and trust in God? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's support and encourage one another on this incredible journey of faith. And remember, you are loved, you are cherished, and you are never alone. God bless you all.